And for this, I'd like to bring on Marek to tell you about Self Protocol. So please give Marek a big round of applause.
Thanks so much. Thank you, Karthik. It's so wonderful to be here today. Today, we are absolutely thrilled to be announcing something new. So you guys are going to be among the very first people to hear about this. Today, we're launching Self Protocol. Yeah, super excited. Self.xyz just went live, so you can check it out. And if you've seen any of my talks before, you'll know that I like to try to make things interactive. I try to make things fun. And so today we're going to play a little game of guess the country while the talk is happening. And all of these countries are actually supported by Self Protocol today. So if you see your home country, then you'll know, okay, perfect, I can use Self today. And there's many more countries that we support. So I'm just going to warm you guys up. What is this country? Just yell it out. Easy, right? Too easy, maybe. Try to yell a little louder, though. Let's make a competition here. And these are going to get much harder, so it's going to be a lot more fun if you start yelling. What about this one? France. Over there. Only one person guessed it. Okay, guys, you got to bring your game. What about this one? Canada. Okay, this one's easy. We also support the US, but that one would be, definitely too easy to show for you guys. But okay, I think you guys get the gist. So these little shapes are going to be embedded in the slides. And then if you see one, just yell it out. Again, let's make this competitive. Okay, so I wanted to start just by, reflecting a little bit. We're still a fairly young industry, all things considered, and there's still a lot of unsolved problems in crypto. Any guesses, any big unsolved problems that you really would like to be solved but aren't solved yet? Anyone? Identity, perfect. Anything else? Usability, yeah. Permissionless chain aggregator, very specific one. Anyone else? Privacy, yeah, these are all really good ones. And I think the first one touches upon this identity problem that someone just mentioned, right? Are you sibling? I would argue that this is still unsolved today, even though obviously Bitcoin did solve this back in the day, but with the major downside of needing a lot of electricity. Proof of stake, I think, came later, which does solve it, but with the downside of plutocracies. And then WorldCoin, of course, has been working on this, but WorldCoin's solution isn't available to everyone if they're not physically close to one of these orbs that they've created. And so are you sibling, I would argue, is still something that we haven't solved. The second one, which we got a pretty nasty reminder of last Friday, are you a bad actor? Our industry really struggles with this, especially when it comes to smart contract-based applications, right? If you want to do something in a fully decentralized, permissionless way, we do not have a good solution for solving this question. And so I would argue that this is also unsolved. And as of recently, with the rise of AI agents, we now have an additional problem that we have to think about. That is, are you even a human? Which is crazy. 5 years ago, who would have thought we'd have to think about this? But here we are, tons of agents now shilling their meme coins, hopefully doing more useful stuff soon. But in the meantime, every time you come across one of these agents, you have to think about, are they even a human? And so I'm excited to be sharing Self with you guys today, which really is aimed to help you with these problems. So once again, we're launching today. This is a fully audited release, audited by ZK Security. And we're just really excited to share this with you today. And at the heart of Self is leveraging what I would argue is the most trusted meat space attestation that you are a unique individual. And that, of course, is a passport. How many people here have a passport? Raise your hand. Yeah. all of you perfect, so you can use Self. The nice thing about passports is that they are fairly difficult to obtain. They are unique to individuals within the country that is issuing them. They're stored securely, right? You need them to travel, so when you're at home, you probably don't let them sit anywhere, but you put them away somewhere safe. How many people have noticed this little logo that's on the bottom of this example passport on the left? This logo means that your passport is a biometric passport, and these have been around for the last 20 years. And these passports are machine readable, which is pretty cool. And so not only are they machine readable, they use some pretty cool cryptography that basically makes it hard to forge these passports. And so similar to how TLS works, where you have this certificate authority chain going up to kind of this root certificate authority, passports have the same thing. Every country has one or two country signing certificate authorities. And effectively, these sign a chain of keys that eventually sign the information in your passport. And these signatures are stored in your passports so that if you know the public keys of these country signing certificate authorities, you can verify the authenticity of that passport using just cryptography. And in fact, when you're entering a new country, the border agents, if you see them scanning your passport, or if you're using one of those automated gates that scans your passport, this is in fact what they're doing. They're verifying that your passport isn't forged through cryptography. And that's pretty cool, right? We like cryptography in crypto. And because this is machine readable by phones, we can actually leverage it into a really cool application that can verify your passport information. And so that's exactly what Self is doing, but it's doing it critically without a counterparty. Who likes giving your personal information to third parties when you're signing up for an exchange or for some airdrop? Who likes scanning their passport? Actually, I don't like that. And sending it, God knows what they do with it. You know, I've heard of lots of hacks where these KYC providers got hacked, and then all of your information gets leaked. Nobody's raising their hand, of course. Nobody likes this. And so instead, would you prefer if you could verify the authenticity of your passport on chain? Who likes that? Yes, people are saying they like that. But if you were to do that, you'd probably be revealing your passport information to verify all those signatures. So actually, I would argue you probably don't want that. And instead, what you probably want is to verify the whole certificate authority chain in ZK. So who wants that? That's what I want, and that's what we've delivered. Again, and it's audited today. It's live as of this morning. And what's really cool about this is once you've gone through this flow, once you've registered using the Self application and you verified that your passport is in fact valid, then you can start doing cool things where you reveal information about yourself without revealing all of your information. So for example, if there's a third-party dApp that wants to use Self to ask whether or not you're above 18, you can disclose that information without revealing your age using the Self protocol. You can disclose what country you're from, you can disclose what countries you're not from, and you can even disclose that you are not on the OFAC list. And so for proving that you're not a bad actor, we finally have a really cool solution that doesn't require a counterparty. All it's doing is using mood math to verify this information on chain, again, without a counterparty. So pretty cool. I'm hearing any folks yelling at countries. Did you guys see any countries? This one's hard, actually. Let's go back. What about this one here? Singapore. Singapore is right. This one over here. Turkey. Turkey is good. Whoever guessed that over here. This one, this next one is harder. Any guesses? They've recently changed their, not China, they've recently changed their name. Czechia is correct. Awesome. Whoever's over there is really. Okay, so what does all of this look like together? You might be wondering. Well, it is a mobile experience, hence all of the mobile screenshots. And so there is a mobile app that you can install. I think that app is going to be released later today. And with that app, you can go through a fairly simple onboarding experience that starts like this. The first thing you need to do is scan the front of your passport. This contains some data that effectively encrypts the data that's available on that biometric chip. Then you use your NFC reader on your phone to read the NFC chip data, decrypt what's on there, and then create a ZK proof that then you send on-chain to register. And so it's really that easy, right? This was pretty quick. Highly encourage you all to check it out. And once you've done that, you're registered and you can start interacting with dApps that are asking for information about you, like, for example, that you're not on the OFAC list or something like that. And so what does that experience look like? Well, you start on the home screen, you press the button on the bottom, and dApps specify what they want you to prove using a QR code. And so you scan the QR code, it tells you what the dApp is asking you. Here it's asking that I'm over 820, that I'm not on the OFAC list, and a few other things. And then you prove this fact, submit it on chain. You can also submit it directly to the dApp if the dApp doesn't need it on chain, and then you're done. So it's pretty easy. What do you guys think? Cool. So how does this work? Anyone guess this country? I heard Poland over there. That's right. Once again, all these countries are supported. So how does all of this come together? Well, we know it starts with the passport. We have the mobile app that's available, that will be available soon, later today on iOS and Android. With that mobile app, you can scan these passports, again, using NFC, using the flow that we just saw. Now, to protect users from the governments of that are issuing these passports, the mobile app will actually need to generate some randomness, effectively, a random string that we then back up to the cloud optionally if you like. You can also just write down a seed phrase if you don't trust your cloud provider. We do put it in the keychain store and in the app-specific Google Drive store so that it is secure. But we do that again for your privacy. And then to generate these proofs, sadly, the proving mechanisms that exist today are not quite mobile-friendly enough to do this on the phone for every country out there. There's a few countries that have signature schemes that are very, very difficult to do with low memory and low CPU. And so we accelerate the generation of these proofs using a TEE, a Trusted Execution Environment service. All of this is open source, and the TEE provides an attestation that it's running a certain image. And so you can actually go and verify that this TEE is only accelerating the generation of these proofs. It's not storing this passport information, and it's not sending it to anyone. And the mobile app communicates securely through an encryption channel with that TEE. So again, no one can see your passport data. We can't see it. And certainly, it's not stored. So even if there was some, God forbid, hack, there wouldn't be any data there to steal. And so then this TEE generates these proofs, and then it can submit them directly on chain for verification. We write to the Celo chain, which in about a month is going to transition to become an L2. So in about a month's time, all of these proofs will be verifiable effectively across all of Ethereum, which is pretty cool. And another really cool feature is because we have Sybil protection built in directly into the protocol, we don't actually need to have you pay for gas. We can pay for the gas for submitting these proofs on chain because we know that you can't Sybil us, which is pretty neat. And once the data is on chain, then again, third-party dApps can verify it, and you can be off to the races. It can be verified by smart contracts. So if you have a smart contract that needs to gate users, maybe no OFAC users, then it can interface with this data that's on chain. And the other cool thing that we have is an SDK, which we're also launching today. And so if you have a use case, maybe you care about solving Sybil attacks, Maybe you care about verifying that someone isn't in fact an AI agent, verifying that you're not on the OFAC list. Maybe you're a wallet provider and you want an extra factor for recovering a multi-sig wallet. Or you want to do something fun. Maybe all you want to do is create a meme coin that rewards people every time it's their birthday. Or maybe you just want to reward people for being called Bob. You can do it. Anything that's on a passport page, you can effectively create a protocol that verifies this information on chain, and you can create fun stuff, you can create serious stuff. You know, we're available again today for you to start tinkering. So go to self.xyz and definitely check it out.